This film is going to open huge. With your movies in a minute, I'm Bruce Miller. This summer alone, the end of the world has come about 5 times. In the movies, that is. James Franco and company dealt with it, Brad Pitt tried to fight it back, and now Simon Pegg and his friends from Shaun of the Dead reunite for a pub crawl, a seemingly innocent pub crawl. The 5 haven't been together in 20 years, but then they discover they've got to push back an end-of-the-world invasion that has interesting twists and turns. Paying tribute to sci-fi films from the 50s, director Edgar Wright lands plenty of laughs and makes this a more satisfying outing than Franco's This Is the End. The theme is similar, the execution, not so much. If you read between the lines of this summer's movies, you also see a trend toward horror films. What that says about the state of affairs internationally is anyone's guess. But a lot of kids who missed out on roles in Twilight are finding work in knockoffs like The Mortal Instruments, another film series based on a bunch of unreadable novels. In this one, subtitled City of Bones, a 15-year-old girl discovers she has secret powers, ones that seem to attract demons and vampires determined to kill her. Called a shadow hunter, the girl, played by Lily Collins, is charged with keeping evil at bay. She's particularly supposed to defang a group led by a guy named Valentine, but other circumstances keep getting in the way. There's more than a little Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this series and a whole lot of twists that don't make a bit of sense. But Mortal Instruments does give us Jonathan Rhys-Meyers as a creepy Valentine and a whole lot of leather outfits that somehow didn't seem to make it to the Pacific Northwest during the heyday of Twilight. Mortal Instruments isn't going to set the world on fire, literally, but it could give fangirls something else to embrace once they've reread the Twilight Saga for the 14th time. If you're looking for something new in the world of horror, and hey, by now who isn't, peek at You're Next, a fairly interesting thriller. When a gang of axe murderers hits a family reunion, everyone seems doomed until an unlikely relative starts fighting back. You're Next is more empowering than most horror films, but it doesn't star anyone you know and quite possibly would have played a drive-in if those were still around. But that's the kind of week it is. Murder, mayhem, and the end of the world. In other words, business as usual. With your movies in a minute, I'm Bruce Miller.